Hello, welcome to the Reframing Mindset podcast. We are clear my head of the thoughts that are preventing clarity to practice my speech, among other things. Episodes range from informative knowledge to funny stories about my experiences, and in the future, maybe include interviews. So subscribe and enjoy. Episodes drop every other day. Okay, so welcome back to Reframe Mindset Podcast. My name is Colin Smith Brooks, and basically, this episode, I have to just take this time to appreciate, like, if you really, this journey to where I now, I've seen a lot of things, and I've seen a lot of things, and it makes me really appreciate Earth, the planet that we are on. Like, this planet is rich beyond measure. It's like everything is just so perfect about it that you have to just sit down and be like, it's one thing, when you're going through school and you're learning about the basic stuff and all these things. But basically, when it actually is, because on this journey, I have to be earning my way. In school, my family would supporting me and such like that. But more and more, as in the real world, I have to support my way. And basically, on this journey, you kind of understand the value. When you start spending your own money, you understand the value of $1 more. But not only that, the base, that's one of the surface level. But overall, what I've realized, and many people may not realize, is how you're valuing the dollar, which is money and such like that. But bro, the items that you're spending your money on and everything, if you really sit down and think about those stuff and be like, damn, bro, this earth is really resourceful, because you ever, I know, many people can relate to this. When your family give you some stuff, and it's something that you don't know. They give you some stuff, like, for example, for your Christmas, instead of they give you money or such like that, they give you some present or something. And things that you may look at and say, thanks. I say thank you, like something basic like a socks. The socks, they'll be like, oh, thank you, but you wish you will get something else. But over time, you realize that, that socks will actually come in handy one day. It's not the thing that you want the most, but it's really something that is useful. And on this journey, I've seen a lot of things that right now, I'm eating. I've reaped some cucumbers from the backyard, and I made some vegetables and such like that. And prior to this, I would never see, like, unless I'm really more significantly financially stable, I would really buy cucumber unless it was something I needed. And because I thought I never would have liked the taste and such like that, but having it planted in my backyard and reaping it it made me have to actually take the time to actually taste it. And I actually love cucumber. I'm like, I love cucumber. But to realize how that really happened is that basically I had to plant some seed is planted into the earth, and basically I'm reaping, like, right now it's maybe over 10 cucumbers, and that's basically not using money or such like that. It's just basically using manual labor to dig the earth and place a seed in it, and then the sun the free energy that everybody gets, the sun. The sun does basically, and water, which it's a rain season now, so which we one of the reasons why sun and water that just comes together, and then boom, you have fruits that we can use and pick and eat, you know. And it's like you have to just look at it and be like, yo, you know, yeah, you have to really sit down and really think about it. It's like, yo, the earth is rich, the earth is everything, and it's like, I'm on this journey, you know, because as I'm progressing more, everything is getting more risky, you know, because as I'm progressing more, I have more to lose. That's one of the things when you go to the top, you know, when you get richer or whatnot, you realize that, okay, you have more to lose. Like if you're poor, you don't really have much to lose, you know, so, but, yeah, like if you're extremely poor, you don't have much to lose other than your life. But as you progress more and get more stuff, you realize that you have more to lose. And then not only that, no, because you have more to lose, you get attached to the material things, and then not only attached to the material thing, but because social pressures and whatnot, we value certain things are more valued than others, so you attach yourself to certain value social thing, things that, you know, the society values a lot. But, you know, on this journey, I've been poorer and I've been richer. And if you remove the societal standard, and if you don't care what society think, kind of really think about yourself and what you need and what you need to progress for yourself, you realize that, yo, this world is full of opportunities, even the simplest of things. Yeah, even the simplest of things, and just sitting and just chilling at a beach and just relax your mind and just forget all about the worries of the world. That's it's such a blessing, bro. That is such a blessing. It's like it's on this journey that I realize even the simplest of things can be so great, you know. Can be so great. And if it wasn't for me trying to get out of my box, because like if you stay in a box, basically what you do is go to school, maybe then university, get a degree, then boom, look at job and work the job, then, you know, find out over time, buy a house, then buy a car, then maybe find a girl married and such like that. But there's so much more to life, bro. There's like, thank, you know, Corona was a blessing in disguise to really show me that, yo, there's so much more to life that I'm like, yo, bro, life is so, I love life. You know, I love life. Yeah, you have to really love life, man. And it's like, you know, you know, people that don't believe in God and such like that. And I, you know, I guess what people, some may say, okay, they want proof of God and such like that. You know, one thing that, you know, came to me and I realized it and something like that. God doesn't really need to prove anything to us. You know, the Bible is there for you to use, to learn and such like that. But if you don't believe it, you know, it doesn't matter. But, you know, it took me realizing, you know, knowing that God is real and then really look at life from the God's perspective and realize the beauty in the simplest of things, in everything, the beauty in everything. You know, like when you take your mind out of the school and society box and then start look at life from the God's perspective, you realize how rich. And I think it's when I start to look for him from that perspective where the visions and the things that I want for my life start to expand. And even here now where I'm basically and basically a literal homeowner. Like I can't really call myself official yet because I don't I'm not really fully financing the place as yet. But basically, if it wasn't really from looking at it from God's perspective, I think I would basically still be at my grandmother's place right now. Like literally, that's the proof I have for you to, if a person that say if he about not believing in God and such like that, it's not me convincing you to believe in God, but to really, the Bible open up another world that you be like, it's like any other book that people like to read, It's like, it shows you that there's so much more to life, so much more to life. I'm a degree university graduate with a bachelor's in biochemistry, but science and religion is just so, it's like there's an Albert Einstein quote where I don't remember the accurate thing about it, where basically science is without religion is something and religion without science is something else. But it's truly that quote is true. Like when you really mesh those things together, you realize the beauty and life just gets very much more interesting and worth living more. But what happened is basically other human is just caught up by the simplest of things, and we end up when I say that the earth is rich and that, but take for example this Russia-Ukraine war, where basically in the grand scheme of things, they're fighting over minuscule resources, bro. Like, it's back to one of my previous episodes where I talk about quantity versus quality. The next thing about it is greed. When you want too much, if you go and just going off us trying to get many stuff, like you try to get rich and try to get as much money as you have, you really don't really get to appreciate the value of the money that you have now. It's like if you have $1,000 but you're trying to become a millionaire and such like, so you're basically just trying to form schemes and such like to really how to become a millionaire. You don't really get to appreciate the value of the $1,000 that you have now. And I think it's until you really appreciate how valuable that $1,000 is when you start to really grow in wealth, when you realize the simplest of things, there's wealth in the simplest of things. And it's like, when I really look at life like that, it's like, bro, I'm basically high off life, bro. People drinking alcohol, I'm just too high off life, too high off life. I just love life so much. And I basically don't even know what kind of title to title this episode, but life is just too great, too great. And many people won't realize how great life is, bro, because they're tied up by the simplest of things, tied up by the simplest of things. And I understand it because even me still is tied up by the simplest of things. But God have given me glimpses of what life could be, and those glimpses and tastes of it alone, I was like, life is great, life is great. Life is great, yo. That, mm, nothing like life. Nothing like life. Yo, even the struggle, there's nothing like life. Nothing, 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 nothing. Yo, I really don't want to end this episode, but yo, it has to end. I'm out here trying to make up more things to say because of how high on life I am. But I have to end it, I have to end it. But basically, the ending, I just wanted to really, after I listen to this episode, really just look around the environment and realize, even if basically it's pure dump, there is so much opportunity in life. Even the simplest of things that when you really, really start to appreciate even the simple, even the blaze, the grass, when you start to appreciate even those stuff, then you realize, damn, bro, even if you're the poorest man on earth, you'll be like, yo, the earth is rich. You're on the earth, so the earth is rich. And then when I start to think about it from that mindset, that life just open up more for you. And you'll be like, yo, that will just give you some motivation or something. You'll be like, yo, maybe life can be better. And just think about it like that. So, I have to end it. But basically, this is a nice rambling. I have to really get it off my chest. Even though I really want to say a lot more, but I have to end it. I have to end it. But, yo, life, there's so much about life, right? Life is too great, and there's more to life. That's the thing. I'm just talking about this now, and there's more to life. That's wild, bro. That's the wild thing about it. There's more to life. Life is just, this earth is, and life is just too great, too great, too great. And it's like, that really sit down and makes it. So, thank you for listening to this episode, and I look forward for the next episode.
Well, this is the end of the episode. Thanks for watching and look forward for the next episode. To support this podcast, go to anchor.fm/cssb/support or become a sponsor for this episode. If you have a product that you want to have more exposure, DM me on the Instagram page, Reframing Mindset Podcast, or on Twitter at ReframingP. Either way would help. Thank you regardless for listening, and here's a preview for the next episode.
Geared towards more towards the Jamaican audience because only most of the Jamaican audience will get this. But even though they might get it, you never know. But basically, I have to talk about the first time I ever bought chicken back. But prior to then, I've eaten it before. My family usually cook it and such like that. But chicken back in Jamaica, I think, is one of those what you call the cheap. When they don't have much money, is what you will buy to basically substitute as meat. So you can have something to eat. So basically, now to get the story started, I'm at UWI, and back at my university. And if you are known at my university now, I